I've always had an interest in electronics and DIY stuff. I've repaired and modded a lot of guitars, and I've tried to mod pedals as well. Some attempts more successful than others. I've probably mostly made them worse so far, but every time I try something I learn something, so it's not all that bad, though it can be expensive to ruin a good pedal. About 2 years ago I finally ordered my first DIY pedal kit, a Fuzz pedal, which besides being a pedal type that I love, I heard that it was a good type to start with. Not too complicated of a circuit and not too many parts. It's a copy of a Full-Tone 69 pedal, which is their take on the germanium fuzz face but with added knobs for input volume and mid contour. As soon as I got the package I started building it. I couldn't wait. Thanks to the online resources at the page I was ordering from, the assembly was quite easy once I understood what part goes where. Now, I would never say that I'm good at soldering, but I can get the job done basically. It might not be pretty, but it works most of the time. If I remember correctly, when I first plugged it in, it lit up but didn't work. I was perplexed. I checked all the cables and components, everything was in order and connected properly. Then I realized I had mixed up the input and output jack when mounting it into the pedal casing. I tried just plugging it in backwards and there it was, a working fuzz pedal. So, here it is. It's a plain, natural color of the aluminum casing. I really like the knobs that I ordered. They're like metallic and a small arrow pointing. I got the same knob on pretty much all the pedals. And this one has reverse polarity, so you can't really run it off a normal power supply. You have to get a separate one that is reversed, or run it off batteries, which I usually do. I just loved the process of building and troubleshooting so much that it didn't take too long until I ordered another kit. Next up was a copy of a Rangemaster Treble booster, one of the simplest pedals out there. It was really a breeze to build and it sounded great. This kit also features a switch that allows for a fuller boost than the classic Rangemaster, however it will never function the same way as say a normal boost like the MXR microamp or something. The treble booster is really a different kind of a beast. If you're not that familiar with treble boosters, you should know that the best place for them are first in your pedal chain, right after the guitar. They also need to go into an overdriven sound, either an overdriven amp or another pedal. Otherwise they can sound quite horrible. So, here's the treble booster. This also has the reverse polarity, so I run it off a battery, which you can hear. What to say, this is the switch that I mentioned. I think, if I remember correctly, in the middle position it's just a straight replica of a Rangemaster. In the down position it's kind of a different filtering, and the up position is more of a fuller sound. This is the position that I use most, and I usually run it, somewhere between there and there, depending on how much gain I want. You can also use it full up, it sounds great. After that I ordered 2 kits, a digital reverb, which I ended up giving to a friend, and a copy of a ColorTone Overdrive, aka Power Boost. By this time I knew what I was in for, and both builds were fairly easy, even though one of them was digital. The reverb producing part in that pedal was just a big chip. Just a few more legs to solder than a regular smaller IC chip, I guess. No big issues there. So as I said, I ended up giving the reverb away, but it had 2 knobs, and did it have a switch? No, I don't think so. Just 2 knobs. One mix and one dwell. But here's the copy of the ColorTone Overdrive or Power Boost. I can't remember the names. This is one of my absolute favorite pedals. It's a beast, actually. it's really loud, and it can go from. This is the gain knob, basically. The originals didn't have a master volume, so this was the one labeled volume or boost or something. And it goes from a clean boost, still quite a volume boost even at the lowest setting, to more of a light overdrive here, and then full-on fuzz pedal here, right in the last bit of the knob. Then this is the master volume. This is a bass knob, and this is a treble knob. It's really useful. The last pedal I built was the Stones 69 Overdrive pedal, which was created to sound similar to the Rolling Stones guitar sounds of the late 60s and early 70s, which I guess means cranked Fender combo amps. Now I realize that's the second pedal I mentioned that contains 69 in the title, but I didn't buy them for this, I don't know, suggestive name. I like the description of them. Plus the late 60s was a good period for tone. This had a little surprise element in form of an internal bias pot for drain voltage, which I actually don't know what it means. But from what I understand, I was supposed to set it to where it measured 4.5 to 5 volts, but since I don't have a multimeter, I just set it to where it was the loudest, which ended up being around the midpoint of the pot. This of course seems like an obvious point to set it, since we're going for half of the 9 volts that's going through the pedal. And here's the Stones 69 Overdrive. This one has different pots from the other ones, as you can see. This power booster has got the arrow knobs, and this one has the knobs with the numbers on it instead. And this is just because they were out of the good knobs when I bought the pedal. So maybe I'll end up buying some other knobs next time I order a pedal. Because they're a bit harder to tell where you've set them. So yeah, it's a really cool pedal that I haven't used nearly enough of. Those are all the pedals that I built so far. Unfortunately, I can't demo the reverb since I gave it away, but it was a decent sounding reverb pedal that only sounded a bit strange when turned up to max. It had almost the same kind of feedback loop effect as you get when you turn up an analog delay pedal to max. It was also quite noisy at that point, but below that it was a very usable reverb tone. I have linked all the pedal kits in the description below if you want to try one out for yourself. I can highly recommend doing this if you're a bit handy with a soldering iron and like DIY stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do besides actually making music. If you decide to try it, start with something simple like a fuzz or booster. There are less things that can go wrong with those. So what kind of pedal do you want to try to build? Please comment down below and like and subscribe for more gear related content. Thank you so much for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye.